This morning, Democrats are claiming a significant Election Day prize in Kentucky. State Attorney General Andy Beshear says he defeated Republican Governor Matt Bevin. The race is officially too close to call, but Beshear leads by about 5,000 votes. President Trump had campaigned for Bevin the night before the election. Democrats also took control of the Virginia legislature yesterday, promising big changes in that state. Ed O'Keefe is covering campaign 2020 for us. So, Ed, good morning. What do these results show us?
Well, good morning, Tony. Well, Republicans were able to hold on to the governorship in Mississippi. Tuesday night's other results in state and local elections show the ongoing collapse of the Republican Party in the nation's suburbs that we saw in last year's elections. And while all politics is ultimately local, there's no denying that President Trump had at least some effect on the results. That could spell big trouble for him and Republicans going into the 2020 elections.
Voters in Kentucky sent a message loud and clear for everyone to hear.
Democrat Andy Beshear claimed victory Tuesday night, but Republican Governor Matt Bevin wasn't ready to throw in the towel.
We are not conceding this race by any stretch. Not at all.
Bevin ranked this year as one of the most unpopular governors in the country amid criticism of his push to revamp Kentucky's education and Medicaid policy.
My wife is a retired teacher. He's trying to take away her insurance.
President Trump won Kentucky by 30 points in 2016, and Bevin leaned on him to help turn out Republicans.
He's been incredible.
At a rally on Monday night, Mr. Trump seemed aware at what was at stake for him.
And if you lose, they're going to say Trump suffered the greatest defeat in the history of the world. This was the greatest. You can't let that happen to me.
In a statement last night, the Trump campaign said the president just about dragged Governor Matt Bevin across the finish line. A final outcome remains to be seen. Despite Bevin, Republicans did win every other statewide race in Kentucky, including Daniel Cameron, who became the first Republican elected Attorney General in 70 years and the first African American to win the job.
Let's continue the success of this party as we move forward into this next decade.
In Virginia, where Mr. Trump isn't popular, Democrats took full control of the state legislature despite scandals this year that engulfed the top 3 Democrats in the state. One Democrat who helped them take control is Shelley Simmons. Nearly 2 years ago, she lost after a tie was decided by drawing a name from a bowl. But this time, she soundly beat the incumbent Republican.
We can make a change, but it takes people coming out to vote.
The results in Virginia mean Democrats can now try to pass stricter gun control in the wake of the mass shooting in Virginia Beach earlier this year. And in Kentucky, there's no mandatory recount law, so the governor can request counties check their results, but he'd need to win a court's approval for a full recount.
All right, Ed, we're heading into an election year, a presidential election year. So what are Democrats and Republicans likely to take away from yesterday's results?
Well, look, there was something for everybody, Tony. The fact that Republicans won every other race, statewide race in Kentucky, and held on to Mississippi is a good sign. But clearly, they're struggling in the suburbs. You look at even local elections in the Philadelphia suburbs this morning, for example, and they're in real trouble. As for the Democrats, they'll celebrate these wins. But look at the kind of Democrat who won. Moderates who are pushing middle-of-the-road ideas. And Democrats probably would be wise to watch in the next year to see how easy it might be or how hard it could be to implement those campaign promises like stricter gun control and raising the minimum wage. All of that could have an effect, of course, on whether or not the Democrats win the presidency in Congress.
Very interesting and very fine line, Ed. Thank you very much.